Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat?
I'm going to celebrate tonight. I'm going to celebrate at the parade, and then I'm going to do whatever I can to be back in this game next year and trying to go for that three-peat. So it's an ongoing thing in the NFL. I think Tom said it best, is once you win that championship and you have those parades and you get those rings, you're not the champ anymore. You have to come back with that same mentality, and I learned from guys like that have been the greatest of all time at the top of the level. And so that's my mindset, is I'm going to celebrate with my guys because of how we done this, but then we're going to work our way to get back to this game next year.
Chiefs go back-to-back. Trying for a three-peat, something that's never been done before in the history of the NFL. And our friends over at DraftKings already have the Super Bowl odds for next season out. So obviously everyone's going to look at the top and the bottom, and then I want to know where the Saints are. But at the top, they actually have the Niners as the betting favorite at plus 550, followed by the Chiefs at plus 650. So the Ravens, the third best odds at plus 900, followed by the Bills at plus 1,000, Lions, Bengals, Dolphins, Eagles, Packers, Cowboys. That's your top 10. Packers, a little bit of a surprise there to see the Packers among the top 10 betting favorites. Look, they were in the playoffs this year. Obviously made a really strong run at San Francisco out there in the divisional round. So, you could argue blew that game. But Packers, Cowboys, that's your top 10. Followed by the Texans, Jets. Chargers are a big riser there, obviously with Jim Harbaugh coming aboard. Jacksonville. I kind of look to see, okay, well, where are the Saints? You go to the very bottom. The Panthers are at plus 25,000. And while the Saints aren't plus 25,000, they're plus 8,000. And sometimes the company you keep kind of tells the story. The Saints at plus 8,000 have the same betting odds as the Cardinals and are just better than the Commanders, the Giants, the Patriots, the Raiders, and the Broncos. And then the Titans and Panthers bring up the rear. At plus 8,000, that gives the Saints the 25th best odds to win the Super Bowl. Only Washington, the Giants, the Patriots, the Raiders, Broncos, Titans, and Panthers have worse odds than the Saints do of winning the Super Bowl. So while I think it's pretty cool that the Super Bowl will be back in New Orleans next year, where it should be on a rotating basis with LA, Miami, and maybe a couple of others, put Vegas in there. The odds of the Saints playing in the Super Bowl in the Superdome are not great. And that probably is more telling than anything, because what you're saying there is you're a bottom 5-7 team in the NFL. And, if you're looking at, so another way to say that is you're in the bottom quadrant of the league. If you split the league into top 8, then your middle, next tier into tiers, right? It's 32 teams. So into quadrants, you're in the bottom quadrant, is what the odds makers are saying for next year. Long way to go for this team to get back to, I wouldn't just say respectability, because I would say they're there. You had a winning record this year, but to where you can actually be a contender, a contending team, it just doesn't feel like they're close. That could change with what you do in free agency and the draft, to couple that with what you did on the coaching staff this year. And I think you still feel like you're going to be a good defense, because Dennis Allen is a good defensive coordinator, and you'll be a respectable defense. But I guess I could think back to the back-to-back-to-back 7-9 seasons, and in 2017 you made that giant push forward on the back of the draft that you had. You need that. I don't know any other way to say it. You were back-to-back-to-back 7-9 seasons in 14, 15, 16. There was a lot of conversation about if Drew Brees was done, should the Peyton Brees era be over, and they hit on that draft in 17, and it catapulted, it propelled that run of winning the division and going to the playoffs each year until 2020. You were the 1 seed in 2018. I mean, that's what this team needs. I'm not saying it's going to be enough to get you there, but it's just it's the only way with your cap situation to get into that type of situation with your roster is where you have young talent, young starters on rookie deals. So you got to go find a Kamara and a Ramczyk and a Lattimore and a Hendrickson. You got to do it in this draft if you want to get close. Super Bowl 59, February the 9th, 2025. The Fox logo is awesome. I actually think the logo that Fox did with the Mardi Gras color fleur-de-lis in the Fox logo, I actually think that logo is better than the actual Super Bowl logo. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.